What was your role in the formation of the broad-based government?
My role was very simple, agreeing to the proposal by the president. President William Ruto sat me down and told me that he had made a decision that he needed to bring in other people so that we stabilize government and we bring everybody and we make everybody feel part of Kenya, and I was agreeable. And I told the president, if that is the intention, and to make our country move forward, improve the lives of our people, I'm agreeable. And I accepted 100%, and I support the broad-based government. I support the decision by the president. I embrace the people who joined us, and I am working well with them, and will continue working with them. What causes confusion is many people asking me, how is it that the president called for broad-based government to bring in everybody so that we have one cohesive country, so that everybody is part of it, yet people are planning to remove others? How does it work?
Right.
That we have brought in ODM people to come and join us, yeah? And then we are saying, now that we have brought these ones, now we have the numbers to chase this one. Then the whole thing would not have been very genuine. If that is the case, it doesn't look then genuine, because I am told they are saying they didn't have the numbers to remove Gachagua'S. Now that Raila Odinga has come on board, they can use his members of parliament to join and kick Gachagua'S out. Then that would defeat the purpose of the broad-based government. But from what the president told me, and I believed him, is that we are bringing these people so that we have one country that is cohesive and we carry everybody along. And it made sense to me.
Do you still
and I'm still persuaded that is the way to go.
Okay.
But from what I am hearing from these characters, for the meetings that they hold, and there are people very close to the president, is that the purpose of the broad-based government was to get numbers so that they can get the numbers from ODM, join the ones from Kenya Kwanza to chase Gachagua'S away. If that was the intention of the broad-based government, then that would have been the deception of the highest order. And I don't think people would ever forgive the president if that was the intention.
Deputy
You know,
President,
and I don't think,
Yeah.
from what he has explained to me, and I'm persuaded that he meant well for the country, and I'm in support of the whole thing. But if it turns out that the purpose of the broad-based government was to get numbers from ODM to join and put them together with UDA to impeach the deputy president, then the whole broad-based government would have been a deception. It would have been a con.
have you seen the formal agreement between the president and Raila Odinga?
No, I trust the president. And many times, and many people accuse me of being a bit reckless. I am a very trusting person, because when you are trusting, you trust others. The president gave me his word, and I was happy. And if there was any written agreement, I'm not aware of it. I took his word that we need to bring these people so that we work together to make our country move forward. By the way, Sam, so trusting is regarding Gachagua'S and his people from the Mount Kenya region, that in the whole of this matrix, we are the only people without a written agreement with President William Ruto. We just agreed as gentlemen. I can tell you, when Musalia Mudavadi came to join President William Ruto, they have an MOU. With Moses Wetangula, they have an MOU. Jefferson Kingi, they have an MOU. Alfred Mutua, they have an MOU. Everybody wrote an MOU with President William Ruto. I and the people of the mountain, because we are very trusting people, we trusted President William Ruto, and we agreed to move in one party. We did not even form our own party to bargain with or to negotiate with him. We accepted him because we believed and trusted him. And we moved together on trust. And what we agreed is what we are proceeding on. So I have never asked the president for any written document or anything. I always take his word for it, because I'm trusting, so I also trust.
Do you regret that decision?
I don't regret the decision, but I have heard many of our supporters saying that it was an indiscretion on my part. I have not yet interrogated whether it was an indiscretion on my part or not. But many of our people, many of our supporters from the Mount Kenya region think that there was an indiscretion on my part. But I want to say I think I did the right thing, because trust is very important. And we gave President William our trust. We expect him to reciprocate that trust.
Okay.
And one of the ways for him to win our trust is to stop the humiliation of the Deputy President.
Okay. Deputy President, I think you've made that a point quite clearly. But tell me, even as you move ahead to now manage the broad-based government, you're out of the President's diary, you're not getting communication on the events he's holding. How then do you even coordinate the cabinet committees yourself? Have you chaired the committees since the reconstitution of the cabinet?
No, I have not. I chair cabinet committees, and we used to have 6 cabinet committees. We have collapsed them into 2. We had a cabinet meeting, I think, on Tuesday, and we agreed we have 2 committees, one on governance, one on production, and I'll be chairing those committees unless advised otherwise. And those committees have been very good, Sam, and part of the work that I've done for this country and for the President. I've held 35 cabinet committees since we were sworn in, and we have prosecuted
how many?
35
cabinet
committees, and we have prosecuted 333 agenda items. And what those cabinet committees do, they are very, very thorough and very, very interactive and very, very exhaustive, because we even invite PSs, we invite CEOs, we invite technical people, and we do interrogate business of cabinet in a very comprehensive manner, so that by the time we go to the cabinet that is chaired by the President, more or less most of the issues have been agreed on, and the President gives his thinking and he gives his direction, and sometimes he agrees, sometimes he doesn't agree with us, and give it to him. Where he doesn't agree with us, he convinces us and we get convinced. And the President, in my view, did very well to set up the cabinet committees, because the President should be a consumer of finance, because he's a very, very busy person. And the kind of work we do here in cabinet committees, sometimes 6 to 7 hours, will be a bit heavy for the President because of his duties.
What is the reason of
so we
collapsing?
continue,
Yeah.
and those cabinet committees have worked very well.
Okay.
And I am very, very, very clear that we'll continue to have the cabinet committees.
Right.
And we'll be able to look at the CAB memos that have come, and we'll be able to proceed to the cabinet for the final approval.
If they were that effective, why are they being reduced from 6 to 2?
No, what happened is that there were 6, and then we were having issues of quorum. And sometimes one member would appear in 3, 4 committees. So it was becoming logistically a nightmare, that this committee is meeting, then you have to go, you have to come back. And I think we agreed in cabinet, and it's a good decision. We reduced them into 2, one to do with governance, it has 11 ministries, the other one to do with production, it has 11 ministries. And I think it will work very well.
Okay.
And we'll have the first cabinet committee, I think, next week, and we'll be able to process all the agendas that are before us so that we can proceed to the cabinet.